Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the movie Hangout. Well, for 2019, I made I guess you could call it a resolution, and that was to read more. I just don't think that I read enough nonfiction. I read the news, I'll read like financial info, I'll read entertainment, gossip, and stuff like that, but I just wanted to read more hardbound books. I just think it expands your mind, and you can never know enough. So, what I challenge myself to do this year is every 2 weeks read a book, and then at the end of those 2 weeks, bring the book on here and talk about it. And if you want to read it too, if you want to check it out, great. If you want to get future reviews on books that I'm reading, think of this as kind of like a modern day of reading Rainbow. Click subscribe. So the first book that I'm going to be doing for the year is the 4 Hour Work Week. You can see it right there, the glare right there. Yeah, the 4 Hour Work Week. It is written by author Tim Ferriss, and this would kind of fall into, like, I guess, the self-help books. Now, I'm not huge in the self-help books because I'm not really big into gurus and all that hokey stuff. But what's cool about this, and what attracted to me to this, is a lot of super successful business people suggested this. And basically, the gist of this book is that it's about utilizing your time, cutting out the fat of your day, and just really buckling down to the point where you could theoretically only have to work about 4 hours a week, which I think would be awesome for everybody. If you could make the same amount of money that you make working 40 hours a week just by working 4 hours, then I think that that gives us 36 additional hours a week where we could be talking about movies, making movies, writing a script, acting in something, whatever we want to do. So this book is 308 pages, came out in 2007. There is a follow-up to this book, but I read the first one and I thought it was fantastic. I it was not boring at all. I thought there was a lot of helpful tips in here on how to automate your day, whether it be like you could have a virtual assistant on how to, or also how to open like a t-shirt business, so you can make some extra income. If you want to teach somebody English, if you want to learn a new language, if you want to do more traveling, and traveling is a big part of this too, because there's a concept in the 4 Hour Work Week called the new rich. And basically what that means is that the old rich, um, what we would consider somebody that's wealthy from the past, is a person that owns like a big mansion and has lots of real estate and kind of is like hauled up in their own little mini kingdom. Well, the new rich, the new millennial generation, basically what it is rather than being stuck in one spot, you can go anywhere you want, anytime you want. That means you can work remotely. You don't have to go to the same office every day. There's no point of having a huge corner office in an enormous skyscraper, because it's like you are forced to go that central location. You're forced to live near work, which nobody wants to do. The new rich, you can travel the world. You can go to Germany, you can go to Japan, you can go to France, you can go to Australia, you can go to the Bahamas, and you can be doing work there a couple hours a day and then enjoying your life remotely. You're not bound to any central location. You are the master of your own destiny, literally. And I think that's really appealing. I think that that is very doable on some level. Maybe you're not going to only work 4 hours a week. Me personally, I'm going to be working a lot more than 4 hours a week. But if we just have that mindset of cutting out the fat of the day and better utilizing our time, then maybe we still work 40 hours a week, but maybe in that 40 hours we get a lot more done. And if we get a lot more done every week, it'll add up within a year to really achieving a lot and having a better life. And that's kind of the reason why too, why I'm reading a book every other week, because in a year I'm going to be reading at least 25 books. And you figure 25 books is a lot, because most people don't even read one book a year. Multiply 25 books times 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I mean, it's crazy. In 10 years, if I read 25 books a year, that's 250 books. That's nuts. Just think about how much knowledge I'm going to have, how much wiser I'm going to be. I'm going to have greater insight into pretty much every subject, and you never know who you're going to run into either. Like you might run into a person like Warren Buffett. You might run into a guy like Elon Musk. You know, might run into a big Hollywood producer. You might run into somebody who lives an interesting life. And if you can connect with them on some level about something, because you have taken the time, just a little bit of time a day that you normally would have been on your phone or just wasting time, if you can just take a little bit of that time and invest it in reading something that's going to expand your mind, then that might end up blossoming into a friendship or a business relationship that's going to enrich your life. So I think it's worth it, and I think you're worth it. Well, that's pretty much my review of the 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. I would say out of out of a rating of 5 stars, 5 being the best, 0 being the worst, I'd probably give this about a 4, maybe like a 4.5. But 4, 4.5. It's pretty good. It's entertaining. It's not a difficult read, and I think it's relatively practical. Well, if you want to get future reviews on books that I'm reading, click subscribe. Later.